As the Love Continues was something that Martin's daughter, who's just a little girl, said, and we just liked it. It's important that people know about these people who have had a profound effect on you personally, but also in the culture that we're all part of. It's a hard question to answer because it's something I'd never asked myself until last week.
Hey Stuart.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
You're relaxing, aren't you?
Somewhat.
As the Love Continues, why did you pick out this title?
As the Love Continues was something that Martin's daughter, who's just a little girl, said, and we just liked it. Yeah, we just liked it and thought it was a good message for the album. It's quite hippie-ish, but I think we maybe need a bit of that in this year.
Your eyes crystal spin, fly true over me. Suddenly gone from here, left alone on the road.
Richie Sacramento. Whoa, I wish I was born under that name.
Yeah, that's the name and it's nonsense. It's a friend of ours couldn't remember how to say Ryuichi Sakamoto, so it's kind of nonsense. But yeah, the song itself is a tribute to the singer Dave Berman from Silver Jews, who's a really wonderful person and amazing talent. So it's kind of a sad song, but also hopefully has some positivity to it also.
Why did you want to write a song for him?
His music was some of the best music made in the last 30 years, I think, and I didn't know him very well, but he was a really nice person, and I know his absence left a big hole with a lot of my friends. He was very close friends with a lot of people that I'm close with, and yeah, it just seemed to be the right thing to do.
How do people react when you explain why you wrote the song?
I think positively. I think that he was very warmly thought of. I mean, you met him, so you know what a great guy he was, but I think you can even tell that just from hearing his music and reading his words. I think celebrating people is important. I mean, Dave died tragically, but even people who just aren't around anymore, you know, like when I meet like teenagers or whatever and you tell them about John Peel, you know, it's important that people know about these people and like people who have had a profound effect on you personally, but also in the culture that we're all part of. I think it's a good thing to do.
You start off the album with a quote.
It have been my friend, tonight we vacate Earth.
Does it have to do with climate change or?
No, that's very random. That was something our friend Ben, who makes music as Blank Mass, he talks in his sleep and he recorded himself saying that. Who knows what that means? But we liked it. It seemed very abstract, but also kind of weirdly profound, I guess. Tonight we vacate Earth, it's just like, everything is so fucked. And the idea of the bin being the sort of escape capsule adds to the level of weirdness. Yeah, we like weird things. Not everything has to make any sense.
The word climate has come up as one of the most important topics in politics.
Yes.
4 years ago, that was completely different.
Yeah, the world is in a bad way, and it should have been the most important thing 20 years ago. but hopefully people are now starting to take it seriously.
Do you see that musicians, artists have a role in this?
Yes, but there is a level of hypocrisy because our industry involves so much travel. I really care about climate change, but I also kind of sometimes need to fly to Asia to play one gig, so it's kind of, it's trying to make a balance, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we tried to use a lot less plastic on this album to do away with all the plastic wrapping and using less vinyl. So it's hard to know the balance. Musicians tend to have a conscience, so it's important to speak out about the things you care about.
I was talking to my colleague Harm, who told me about 2 weeks ago that the fans of your album screamed, "Buy the album, we want to be #1 in the charts." Is that important for you?
It's a hard question to answer because it's something I'd never asked myself until last week. What I'll say is when we were #1, it seemed pretty important to stay there. But it's not as important as making good music or staying friends with the boys for 25 years. But I think it feels like an achievement because we're so independent, Only 2 people work at a record label. The guy who was #2 was on Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers paid for him to drive around London in a tank. So it kind of felt a little bit like a victory for independent music. But again, I'd never thought about it until it happened. So it's both important and not important.
And the first thing you said is really interesting. Now that we're #1, we want to stay #1. How do you stay #1?
Oh, I meant in that week, because you get the chart every day. No, I didn't mean on a permanent basis, no. I don't think we're going to stay.
After experiencing Mogwai for over 25 years now, what do you see as the most important achievement of the band?
I think the biggest achievement is that we're still doing it, that we're all still friends, that we're making music that we're really still proud of and excited about playing these songs to people. Obviously not right now, that we may have to wait a little while, but I think that the longevity is something that I'm very, very proud of.
So can you imagine that you would do it another 24 years? So that you would be together in the next 24 years for a period of 50 years. 50 years of Mogwai.
Yeah, it is. I think it'll change a lot because we'll be old men then. But unless something happens, I don't see why not, I like making music with Martin and Dominic and Barry, and yeah, I don't see a reason to stop it.
If you close your eyes, what's your biggest dream at this moment?
Being back on stage. Yeah, being back on stage, and not even our gigs, but being able to just go and watch people play. I think that seems such a great goal right now.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.